Now, when it comes to cakes, this one's pretty tough to beat. This is my ruby red grapefruit upside down cake. With my grapefruit here, I've just trimmed off the top and the bottom, and I'm just trying to peel off any of this white pith so that all we're left with is the really gorgeously colored fruit. Oh, this smells so fragrant and delicious. If you don't have grapefruit, you could use any other sort of citrus, and depending on what's in season, that's really what you want to go for. Okay, in my pot, butter and some brown sugar. And we're gonna take this over to the stove to let it get molten and bubbly. So you're basically making a caramel in this pot. We're gonna let that butter and the brown sugar melt together and bubble up and pour it into our tin. All right. We're trying to put as much fruit as possible onto the base of this cake. It's one of my favorite parts. It's buttery cake and a lot of fruit. When we flip this out, you're gonna see gorgeous caramelized ruby red grapefruit. That's the grapefruit in. I'm gonna give my hands a wash, and then we're gonna get on to making the cake batter. So to make our cake batter, we're gonna start with a mixer here. I'm gonna add in some room temperature butter into a mixer fitted with a paddle attachment. It's really important that your butter be at room temperature to get that nice creamy aerated texture that you need. Sugar in, mixer down, and we'll turn that on to cream. You want to mix your butter and sugar together for at least 5 to 6 minutes. It may seem like too long, but that is how long you need to get that aerated, light texture. You can see it's lightened up considerably in color, and we'll get the rest of the ingredients in here. I'm gonna separate the eggs as well, because I'm gonna add in the egg yolks, but I want to whip my egg whites. That's another way that we get lightness into this deliciously buttery cake. Into my egg yolks, I'm gonna add a little bit of Cointreau, which is an orange liqueur. If you don't have it, it's optional, but I think it adds a real nice depth. A little bit of vanilla bean paste. And I'll just grab our milk, but we're gonna go back to our mixer, pop that down. I'll turn it on and then add in the egg yolks. Just gonna mix my dry ingredients now. Got plain flour, baking powder, bi-carb, and a little pinch of salt. Mix that up. Add in about half of that. Mix it on low so you don't get flour everywhere. Add in a bit of milk. I add the flour and the milk in 2 separate additions because that's the best way to get the milk emulsified into the batter without trying to get it into the butter. Okay, I'm gonna turn that off there, and I'm gonna whip my egg whites, and we'll get those folded in as the last step to this batter. So I'm adding in half of that egg white. I'll just get that incorporated. And once it's a little bit looser, we'll go about gently folding in the rest of the egg white to maintain that lightness. You just drag your spatula through the center of the bowl and then bring it around. Just get every last bit of that batter on there. And then use your spatula to spread it around to the edges, and then we're just gonna put it in the oven. So our cake baked for about an hour, and the best way to know when your cake is done is to just take a little bamboo skewer, poke it right in the center, and if it comes out clean, it's done. So finally, this is the big moment for this cake. You wanna just take a little knife and run it around the edge of the cake tin. And that feels pretty good. Remove that. And then to flip it over to see the beautiful fruit. And ta-da! Looks gorgeous, wow. That is my ruby red grapefruit upside down cake. Okay, Will?
Hey. Yeah. Beautiful.